Good morning. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invite. Actually, the last presentation has teed me up really well because our business is all about finding solutions to the issues on the infrastructure. There's probably three things I want to go through today. The first thing is just to give everybody here an introduction to our business. I've got a couple of videos. The first one is really a promotional video, but it will give you an insight into what we do. The second thing is that we're actually set up our corporate structure. We've got 5 operating businesses, 4 of them in the UK. And the second thing I want to major on is really how those operating businesses can work together to bring solutions across the board from engineers to plant and all that sort of stuff. And then the third thing is a bespoke machine that we've actually built for clearing out existing drain infrastructure. And I've got a short video on that as well. So without further ado, I know we're up against it, and one of the good things we are good at Ready Power is pulling a possession back. So we'll do our best to do that. This is the first video.
This is Ready Power, delivering first time, on time, every time. Building the foundations beneath the infrastructure you travel on. Engineering that empowers industry, day and night. Ready Power is the UK's leading provider of specialist operated on-track railway plant and associated services. Delivering infrastructure from overhead lines to track renewal, maintenance and specialist projects. Providing the most modern, environmentally friendly and efficient fleet available. Bringing brand new machines to the market. And future-proofing with wheeled and tracked cranes, dozers, heavy lifting equipment and more. Ready Power TerraWise provides complementary capabilities, specialist civil engineers with broad expertise across foundations, trackside civils and permanent way. A perfect fit with the Ready Power RRV assets. 20% of all RRV shifts delivered on UK rail infrastructure are provided by Ready Power, with an impressive 99.4% reliability record. Intelligent technology captures data as teams work to make processes more efficient and safer. Every step is regulated, each process managed with clear foresight. Contracting directly with Network Rail and other major Tier 1 suppliers.
With the ability to operate across multi-discipline projects with our own assets, we are uniquely placed to deliver projects across the UK via operational hubs in every NWR region. In short, Ready Power has an exceptional fleet profile, benefiting from sustained investment in research, design and innovation. But it's not just about big machines, big data and strong investment. It's about people.
Ready Power attracts, trains and retains best-in-class operators, leveraging in-house training facilities, leading market reputation and remuneration, and a safety record to be proud of. The UK relies on transport to keep it moving, to support millions of passenger and freight journeys every week. Ready Power, keeping the UK's rail network on track.
It's a bit salesy, but it gets the message across. So in terms of the business then, so Ready Power Group, we are, I'll give you a 20-second potted history. Since 2011, myself and our team, we did a management buyout I joined in 2011, in 2017. We grew the business through acquisition, geographical expansion, and we sold the business to Angel Trains, which is one of the Roscoes, in January 2022. So now we're carried on with what we're doing. The same team is still involved in the business. The operating company, so Ready Power Rail Services, owns and operates the biggest fleet of RRVs in the UK. So we've got about 350 machines, about 1,000 attachments operating out of 5 operational hubs in the UK. Ready Power TerraWise is a civil engineering business. They specialise in driven foundations, drainage, trackside civils, all of that good stuff. Ready Power Complete Drain Clearance we acquired in October 2022. I'll come on to those in a bit more detail because this is where this bespoke machine comes from. And then we acquired Force One in June this year. Force One was a bit of a diversification strategy for us. So Force One own and operate the biggest fleet of suction excavators in the UK. So 80% of their work is nothing to do with rail. It's actually out on other regulated infrastructure. But they've also got a specialist rail system for suction excavating, which does S&C renewals and stuff like that. So that's that business. But that's us as a whole. Ready Power Canada, it's probably the one I'm most excited about, but I'm not going to talk about today because it's not really relevant. But we're actually starting in Canada. I'm out there next week. We've incorporated the business. We're moving machines out there. It's a really good market for us as well. So that's a sort of setup of the business. So how does our business work together? And this is the key to our sort of service offering. So when it comes to drainage, Ready Power Complete Drain Clears, what attracted us to this business was it had machines that had been basically built from the ground upwards. So a lot of the drainage machines now are built on the back of lorries and stuff like this. These are bespoke machines. But the service offering, we can undertake CCTV surveys. We then deploy our jet vector unit, which I'll come on to a bit later, to unblock and clean. And we provide clients with a detailed map afterwards. So if we do a mile of drainage, we will actually go back to the client, we'll give them a map, and it will say, from there to there is clear, you've got a blockage of 5 meters, and then there on it's clear. We can then move with our TerraWise business and go back to the client and say, okay, that 5 meter blockage, here's a solution. So we'll deploy our engineers, we'll have a look at it. If it's something the client wants to go ahead with, we can arrange a possession. We can provide detailed design for a new drainage installation, and we can undertake that piece of work. So from actually inspecting and cleaning the drains, we can actually come up with a solution. Then we bring into play our third business, which is Rail Services. Rail Services owns and operates the fleet of construction machines. So we have specialist offset drainage machines that can dig out new drainage and install new drainage. So and they'll provide the full POS package, which, if you're not familiar with POS, it's the safe planning around the use of machines on the infrastructure. So from start to finish, we can provide an end-to-end solution. But the sort of the unique part of that is we can do it with all of our own people, all of our own kit, our own haulage, our own rail plan, and everything. So we don't have to contract outside of Ready Power for any of those services. It can all be done in-house. So that's that sort of service offering. Coming on to the jet vector unit. So the jet vector unit, we looked at the industry, and we looked at what was out there already. And when you convert a machine from an existing machine or an existing lorry, you're having to make do in certain areas with what's already there. Our idea was actually, how do we, from nuts and bolts, from the ground up, build a bespoke machine that is purely there to do that job? The machine in front of you is exactly that. So these machines are just under £1 million each to build because they are bespoke. But they've got a high power jetting unit and a high power vacuum unit that can be used together. There's a short film which I'll show you in operation, but they go out and they clean out existing drainage infrastructure, and that's what they do. We've got 6 of those on the fleet at the moment. We've got another 2 machines being delivered in February and March next year. My view is that these machines should be working 5 nights a week on the infrastructure every week. They're not, but I think they should be. And there's a whole commercial offering that actually is cost saving if you utilise the kit properly. And I think that's something that we've got to get to in CP7 if we're going to really crack out the issues with existing drainage. It's hired with a specialist 3-man team. Hold 4,500 litres of water, but it can be refurbed with more water. We've got bowsers that can come out and fill it up as it's working. And what it can also do is it can work with our existing fleet. So what you've got there in a consist is you've got the Vector jetter machine working, but behind it you've got an RRV with a ballast box, and it's actually, as it brings up the spoil, it can hold 6 ton in the jetter unit. That it can then dispense that into a ballast box, and that can be taken away so the jetter can carry on working. So it doesn't have to keep getting offline, getting back online. It can actually keep going. You can actually use these machines. They're not built for it, but you can use them for small S&C. It will suck out ballast on an S&C layout and stuff like that as well. So it is quite versatile. So the last thing is just a short film on the machine working. This film was only actually made on Thursday, and it was made in a train depot, so it's not actually out on track, but the work it's doing is exactly the same. So
we're in Manchester, we're at Newton Heath train depot. One of our rail cyclones is currently jetting the drainage system inside the garages. That has not been done for a very long time. It's quite unique what we're doing. The machine allows us to jet the drainage system as well as clear any debris out of the catch pits, which will then help improve the track drainage for the infrastructure to allow better running service for the Network Rail. The reason the machines are so unique is that we can actually jet and suction at the same time, so there's nothing else in the market that can do this. So this is a four-wheel drive machine, it's dual steer, it can access a very tight access point. The Cyclone can carry 4,500 litres of water. It's a 360-degree camera system all around it. It's a rough terrain, four-wheel drive. It can work in 1 in 25 gradient. It can travel up to 200mm can, so it's pretty robust, it'll go anywhere.
They carry their own water, they get rid of their own waste. I think it'll make a big difference because it can solve the problem right rather than a future problem. It can then keep the trains running so there's no delays with floods or one thing or another.
When we did the acquisition, some of the machines was quite old machines which are still in the fleet and they serve the purpose, but we worked closely with a developer who helped come up with innovation and build these new Cyclones. We are a CTV service, and also we can work with our sister companies, which is Ready Power Plant, provide RRVs, along with our civil engineering part of the business. We can do small repairs or even large renewals.
Clients like the performance of it, they realise how fast it is at doing the job, how good of a job it does. Yeah, so they're impressed.
From having an issue with our customers to not only providing the RRVs, the drainage systems, the civil engineering, we can offer the full package to our clients. So it's great for us as well as the infrastructure. It's absolutely brilliant. They're a great business, great products. We have very little issues. We've got great teams. Everyone works together really well. Innovation is massively important to us at Ready Power. It allows us to be forward thinking and it allows us to be also be the best at what we do.
And that's it from me. I think I've clawed you 5 minutes back there, so thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks, Russ. Appreciate it.